Right, so it is Tuesday, a random Tuesday, about 5 o'clock. I got off of work early, so I'm like, you know what? I haven't gone live in a while, so I'm gonna do that. I don't know if people will join because it's an odd time, but if you do, my name is Melly. I am a content creator, I guess, on YouTube. Is that what I would call myself? I don't know. But I am from Washington, and one of the things that I wanted to do for this video is just chat about an upcoming trip. And while I plan, because I needed to plan, but I'm like, oh, maybe I can do two things at once. So as I plan, I also wanted to do kind of a get to know me because I haven't done that in a while. Well, I don't know if I've ever done one actually. So yeah. So I thought I could do a get to know me. I found some questions on Google. So I feel like that would be the easiest thing. If you all have questions about me, let me know. I also just recently finished with braces treatment. I mean, not completely. I still have aligners. So if you all have any questions about orthodontic treatment with braces, with aligners, I had aligners for the first year and a half, and then I did braces for another year and like 2 months, maybe 3 months, like 3 months, way too much, way too long. And now I'm going to have aligners probably for the next 3 months. And at the end, almost at the 3 year mark or at the 3 year mark, depending on, if I have to do additional aligners than the ones that I have now, it will be at the 3 year mark. So I started orthodontic treatment December 16th. Yeah, it's a long time. 3 years is a long time. But yeah, it's been kind of a crazy road. I've learned a lot, and I have other videos that actually talk about like my essentials for aligners. Um, Also some I don't remember if I did questions. I know I did a lot on my TikTok. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, I did a lot of those videos on my TikTok about what I've learned with aligners. I might just condense them and make a video on here. So I have that content on here. I've also done a lot of what I've learned with braces because there's a lot. Like each of them are good and bad in their own way. And I actually want to make a video that talks about, what is better when it comes to like cleaning them, when it comes to pain, when it comes to cost. So again, if you guys have questions about braces or liners, let me know because at this point I feel like I am a pro. Um, and I had rubber bands. I had power chains. I had this little weird coil thing that it's like to create space as well or to push, teeth apart. Um, so I don't know, a coil. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, there was a lot going on with my braces and my aligners. Ooh, I probably should have charged my battery, which I didn't. So hopefully my battery doesn't die. But so when I mentioned planning, one of the things that I have this year is that I'm going to France and I'm going to Italy. So it'll be one trip, and I'll do a couple days in France and a couple days in Italy. If for those of you who haven't watched the video of my podcast, the very first episode was a video with one of my friends from France. And I say one of my friends, like I have a lot of friends in France. I only have that one. But we did an interview, not an interview, just a little chit chat. An interview seems too official, but we did a little chit chat and just getting to know how we met and things like that. And I am actually going to be seeing her on my trip to France. This is going to be the first time that we've, have actually met in person in I don't know, I think we've known each other a long time. I think we said like 17 years. Yeah, 18 years. About 18 years, which is crazy because we've kept in contact during that time in different forms. So we met on MySpace, and if you watch the video again, you'll hear about that. But we met on MySpace, and then I think we had each other's email. We talked on MSN Messenger, which all ages me, right? Because those are things that we don't even use anymore. But we chatted on MSN Messenger, and then I think once Facebook was a thing, we became friends on Facebook. And then we actually finally video chatted through Messenger. So it's been an interesting friendship. But it's kind of nice. It was nice having somebody that was like your friend, but not in the midst of it, you know? Like we can talk about certain things that it wasn't gonna, and I never worried like, oh, she's gonna go tell her friends because I don't really care, even if she did. Because they don't know me. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So I'm planning for that, but I am like really bad at procrastinating when it comes to these things. I finally booked my stay this weekend, and yeah, I should have done that sooner because I ran out of like options. I still need to book my stay for Italy, but the last time I was looking, like there were so many more options in Italy and way more affordable than France. So yeah, I'll have to tell you guys all about that. That will have to be videos on their own. And then right now I have a bunch of lists of the places I want to try going to. So I don't really have a plan for France, but I do have a plan for Italy. Just because it's easier. So I want to see the Colosseum, of course. Trevi Fountain. Saint, and they have a lot of fountains, but that's like one of the bigger ones. St. Peter's Basilica, the Sistine Chapel, the Roman Forum, Baths of, I don't know if I spelled that right. I don't know. I was going off a list, but something else. The Vatican and Pantheon. Is that P? I don't know that. I think that sounds right. So obviously I made my list a little fast. But what I was trying to see is like what costs money, what doesn't, what I need tickets for. Because that way I can get those in advance. You know, they're always more expensive at the place. So I want to avoid that. So this right here is my little list of things I want to see. I'm sure there's other ones because I haven't decided. I was set on just taking a train to Italy, but because then I'm like, oh, I can stop at different places, right? Um, but right now I'm like, well, do I really want to spend that much time? I think it just depends on like what time I get up because do I really want to spend that much time on the train? I don't know. And then I'm like, well, I can get a cheap flight. Flights are really cheap. But it just depends like on the airline because some airlines allow you to take your carry-on and a personal item. Some do not. So if I have to pay for those things like extra, then it might be much more expensive than I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm taking a carry-on and I'm taking a like personal item, which is a backpack, but I actually bought one. So hopefully it gets here in time and it's what I think. But it's kind of like a suitcase. It looks like a backpack, but the inside is made like a suitcase. It doesn't have, like the pockets. It has like one big pocket that opens all the way, and then it has like one more and some little pockets, right? So I'm hoping that I can fit everything in there. And that's why another thing on my list, on my shopping list, is like clothes. Um, I have a lot of clothes. I really do, but the thing is that I've gone through like some changes where I'm like, some of the clothes is just not my style. Like it's been more safe and things that I'm like, oh, I should wear that, but it's not like I'm totally in love with it. And some of the things that I have are like thicker materials. So I'm like, if I take everything that is really thick, like all jeans, then nothing's gonna fit. So I want to get some like linen pants, maybe some more dresses that are modest, because that's the other thing that I was reading that in Italy, to go into some of these places that are religious, they want you to be covered. So I can't just go like in a tank top and things like that. Another thing that I was reading is that a lot of people, locals especially, like they wear pants or long skirts. They don't really wear like mini stuff. Not that I have a lot of mini stuff, but I do have some shorter stuff, especially when it comes like to shorts. So yeah, I don't really want to stand out, especially because I'm traveling alone this time. And so I want to make sure that I fit in a little bit better. I don't know. I just am seeing that my mic is telling me that I'm kind of quiet. So hopefully y'all could hear me that first part. So yeah, there's that. Um, but yeah, I have a lot of things to buy. You know, when you take a trip, like part of the budget is just taking the trip, and the other part of the budget is all the things you do beforehand. I'm not a totally like girly girl, so I'm not gonna go get my nails done, my hair done, my eyelashes done, anything like that. But I do need some comfortable shoes. Because I want to take like two pairs of shoes. I want to take some black ones, and I do have some new Nike ones that I probably should wear because one thing that I do not advise is wearing like new shoes for the first time on your trip because if they're not comfortable, you are going to regret it. So I do have some Nike and I have some Reebok shoes. Reebok, is that how you say it? Ooh, my computer's gonna die, so I need to go get my charger real quick. But I do have some Reebok shoes. They're white, but they started falling apart like real quick. Um, so I need to buy some new ones. I'm gonna go get my charger before my battery dies, so I'll be back in a second. I just need to remember where I put my charger. All right, there we go. Now we're not gonna have a live stream that ends all abruptly. So I'm still getting used to the liners again. The very first time I had liners, I had a really bad lisp, and so I'm still getting used to talking with them. So if it sounds kind of weird, that's why, or like saying certain words, it's kind of odd. But anyways, yeah, if you all have any recommendations for Italy, let me know. I'm gonna go to Rome for sure, and then the other one I'm not sure. But I would love to hear, if you all have been there, recommendations or advice or tips. If you haven't gone, but you've always planned to go, or you've heard anything, like also let me know because I would love to mm, get more information. And the thing is that you know, I always ask people what their experience is if they know, if they've been there. And I know I can Google, right? I can go on Google and I can look for things. But here's the thing, now we have so many creators and influencers that are paid to write about something. And so I feel like you don't get like the most genuine. I mean, some obviously are going to write honest reviews, but overall, like a lot of it is paid. So I don't feel like you get the most genuine, um, I don't know, tips, recommendations because they want you to do it a certain way. They want you to go to a certain spot. So that's why I rather like go to somebody that knows and also when they write, a lot of people don't want to write negative things. Um, so there's that piece. I'll give you an example. This is, I mean, not a negative thing, but when I went to Colombia, we wanted to go to the gondolas they have, right? They take them people from the very top of the hill to the very bottom of the hill. And that's one of the things that people are like, oh, you got to do that, right? It's so fun. So I'm like, cool. I wanted to go, and then my friend decided that he would come back because they were doing something else, and he would go with me, which was awesome. So we get an Uber, and from the article that I read, it says, "Oh, you have to start here, and then that's where you start from, and you go whichever way. I can't remember which way it said, but it said that's where you start." So when I got the Uber, I listed that place. Well, it was the very top of like the very last stop on the gondola ride and or service, whatever you call it. And to get there, the streets. So, if you've been to Colombia, you'll know about this, like how they're housing and streets are. But if you haven't, a lot of these houses, they were kind of just built there. There wasn't like, how would I explain it? There wasn't a system, right? People got displaced from another area, then they started building in another area. And so some of the streets are very, very, very narrow. The hills are super high. Like, I don't know if there's a lot of, I didn't really see a lot of stop signs. Like, it was just kind of like yielding. So it was a pretty rough ride up. And even the guy, he's like, oh, he's like, people don't request like me to come up over here. Like, I don't go over there. And I mean, he didn't tell us why. So we're like, oh, like, we're sorry, we'll tip you well. Well, it was a rough, it was a rough ride up there. Like, and so when we got up there, then we rode down, and that's where like we got the bus to go back home. We're like, dude, we could have started at the bottom. But this article had said you got to start up there. Why? I have no clue. Because you really can start, there's several stops and stations along the way. So you really can start at any of the lower ones. Um, so yeah, after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to do more of my due diligence, but I'm also gonna try to like talk to people that I know, or maybe that, even if it's through social media, if I see somebody go someplace, get the inside scoop, because yeah, that was kind of crazy. But anyways, I said I would do like kind of a get to know me. Um, and we're gonna go with this list. I don't know, it's on TubeRanker. The first question, I mean, this is not that cool, but actually I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna skip to my favorite holiday. So yeah, it just says, what is your favorite holiday? Let's see. I I don't know that I have a favorite actually, but if I had to choose one, it would say, and this is more of a childhood thing, it would be Halloween. I think Halloween's really fun, dressing up, especially getting candy. I mean, as a kid, I loved going out to get candy. And now it's fun to take my siblings. I don't have kids, so it's fun to take them and they get all excited, right? They're not as crazy about it as I think I would want them to be, because all the years that I've taken them, like we've gone, um, to a few houses, and they're like, okay, we're done. We want to go home. And I'm like, dude, there's so much more candy out there. The other thing too is that now everybody goes to, the parking lot, trick or treating, and I feel like that takes like some of the fun out of it. Some people decorate their houses really cool. And it's just fun, I think, to run around. But yeah, it's kind of taken that like joy out of it. And now obviously, like now that I'm grown, I don't get invited to, because I don't have any friends around here, or friends that are doing parties. So because everybody has their kids and stuff. So I don't really get invited to Halloween parties, and I don't get to dress up. So if I had Halloween the way that I would want it, then I would say it's Halloween. For the other, I know people like Thanksgiving and um what's it called, and Christmas. I have to say, I guess this is part of the get to know me. That I feel like I'm kind of the Grinch when it comes to Christmas. And only because I feel like people have gotten really ungrateful. Um and yeah, I don't like that aspect. I don't like the aspect of, people going on social media and showing off what they got. I mean, obviously they're grateful and it's cool to show that, but at the same time, I feel like it becomes like a competition. Like my gift is cooler than yours. I also feel like with kids, not a lot of kids, but when they have everything, you can't, like, what else do you get them when they have everything? So yeah, I feel like we could be a little bit more grateful. So that's why Christmas is not like on my super high list. And Thanksgiving, I mean, Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. It's not bad. I like the food. Um, but yeah. I guess all in all, my favorite holiday would be Halloween. Let's see another question. Um, an interesting fact about me. Well, I think there's a lot of interesting facts about me. I'm just kidding, but I'm not kidding. And I think everybody should think this way, right? When we ask, when they do like this as an icebreaker, like, oh, say an interesting fact about me, people are always like, oh, I have nothing to say. But there's always interesting facts. It's just, I think sometimes if we don't think about them as interesting, right? But others may. An interesting fact about me, and since we were on the topic of traveling, or I was talking about traveling, I got to go to Gumpo, South Korea when I was 16. That was my first time like overseas. I mean, I had been to Mexico, so it wasn't my first time out of the country, but it was my first time overseas and visiting Asia. It was a really neat experience. Was I went through a group, like a cultural exchange program that was happening in my county. So there was a people, from all different schools in the county that got to go. Um, I applied, and honestly, like I was thinking the other day, that I don't think my parents even met the people that I was going with. I mean, maybe the day that they dropped me off to actually go and catch the flight, which is a little bit crazy. But I got to go for 2 weeks, and we got to do a lot of the fun, um, what's called like touristy stuff. We went to this ramen factory and got a bunch of snacks. We went to a mud festival. If you're ever visiting South Korea, I'm pretty sure they still do it. Um, and I don't know, it wasn't in Gumpo, it was another place, but that mud festival was pretty awesome. It was just different. And let's see, what else did we do? Yeah, 2 weeks we were there. Oh, we went to this underground mall. That was kind of cool. And then once those 2 weeks are over, we came home, and then the students from Gumpo came and visited us. So I think that's an interesting fact about me, that I got to travel um, to Korea so young, and it was honestly a really awesome experience. Let's see. Doo, 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 doo. What is? I don't really know that. So one of them is, what was your favorite subject in high school? I don't really know. I didn't really do anything in high school. Like there wasn't anything like exciting. We didn't have a lot of choices when it came to, like, those fun classes, um like electives. I don't even know what my electives were. I think we did child development, but I don't think that was an elective. Um and a lot of the classes like that were cool, like cooking and or fun, I guess. Maybe not cool for everybody, but cooking and sewing, like they would only allow like the seniors. And I did running start my senior year, so I did like 3 classes there and 3 classes at the college. So I didn't get to, I guess, experience those. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? So I don't have a favorite right now. It used to be mint and chocolate chip, but lately, like I've tasted it and it just does not hit the same. So I'm still on the quest for my favorite ice cream flavor. If you all have any suggestions, let me know and I'll try it out. Um, let's see. And if you all have any questions about me, um, to get to know me, let me know and I will answer answer to the best of my abilities. Um, let's see. Oh, have you been to any concerts or festivals? So right now in Washington, it is concert season, and I think this is probably everywhere. But we have a very short summer, so we have the Gorge in Washington that has a lot of festivals, and I am not a huge festival person. And maybe I would be if I had people to go with. I did go to one by myself one year, called Base Canyon, and I realize that you really do need people. Like, because I'm not the person that is just gonna go up to random people and talk to them. I did end up finding a group that adopted me for the night. But it was a lot colder than I thought. And so I was freezing. I had to buy some pants that were not even that thick, and they only had one pocket, which was weird. I still think that was weird. But I was freezing the whole time. And I was alone, so it wasn't as cool. So yeah, I'm not a huge festival person. I like I said, if I had the right people, maybe I would go. And for concerts, what's the last concert that I did? It was at the Gorge, but I can't remember which one it was. I can't remember the name. But anyways, I found cheap tickets, and so we went with one of my friends. But I'm not a huge concert person either. And again, I probably analyze this way too much, but since I'm really short, I'm only 4'11. If I don't get, oh, actually, sorry, the last concert that I went to was Pitbull in Spokane, Washington. And it was great, but it was also like only like 45 minutes, which I was not happy about. Um, After it had already been rescheduled, like, so the time before, we they didn't like send out a text, an email, or anything. They just like posted it on the casino's page. But excuse me, we drove there, and then we're like, okay, like there's nobody here. Like there should be people here already, right? We got there a little bit early, but not that early. And then we started looking and digging, and it had been canceled. So I was not happy about that. And then we went back, and it was only like 45 minutes. It was a good show, and we loved Pitbull, but it was very, very short, and that was not cool. We also waited a long time, right, to even see him. Um, but anyways, for concerts, since I'm really short, I would really have to buy an expensive ticket where I would have good visibility of the stage. But if I like buy even an all right ticket, right? If like I'm in the pit, like right in front of the stage, if there's anywhere that's taller than me, I'm not gonna be able to see. So like to me, if I'm standing all the way back in a different, like a cheaper ticket, I'm still not able to see. Like I might be able to see the stage, but they're so far away that you're really looking at the screen. And at that point, I'm like, I'm gonna just stay. I might as well just stay home and watch it on TV. And I know that concerts have like a different experience, but yeah, it has to be like perfect. So I don't really look into it because I'm like, some of the tickets are really crazy. Like Hoiser, Hoser. I know I'm not saying it right, but he's coming um nearby, and the tickets were very expensive for like lawn tickets far away. So I'm like, you know what? I do want to see him, but I'm not going to. So if there is a concert though, or somebody comes along that I absolutely love, then I will try to go. Just like Pitbull, I really love Pitbull, and the music is just I like the vibes, so I would go. If Linkin Park were still around complete, I would have loved to see them. That's somebody that I would pay a little bit more for, but yeah, overall, I'm just like, well, I don't really want to just look at the screen, and I don't want to be so far away that it feels like I'm just looking at a screen. But I also don't want to pay extra money and just look at the back of people's heads. I mean, I guess it would be the back because I'm sure. Um, so there's that. Um, but anyways, there's definitely a lot of questions. I think I'm gonna shut it down at 30 minutes. I don't want to make this video too long. Maybe I can do another one later on with the get to know me with different questions, because I know that some of you are new to my channel, and so I want to connect. I want to be friends. Like I want to feel like I want to build my own little community on here. So I definitely want you all to get to know me. And sometimes with videos, I just posted a weekend vlog. I'm trying to do show you the authentic me. Sometimes when I make videos, something doesn't sound right, and I redo it, and I feel like we lose some of that authenticity when we do that. So yeah. And it's hard too because like I'm always just filming myself. So like you can't get the whole idea of what's going on. But I guess that's what happens. Um when you don't have other friends that are, creators or along with you for the ride. But yeah, going to Italy this year, crossing that off my bucket list. One of the things on my bucket list is to visit every continent. So, and if you watch other videos, you've heard me mention that. So, visiting Europe will be another one off my list. So, that will be obviously I live in North America. So, that's done. South America, Asia, Europe. So, is that five of them? No. Yeah, because they don't have Antarctica in Australia. Mm. I might not get to Antarctica, but I don't know. I always thought like I don't want to go to Antarctica, but then I was seeing somebody's video of like their experience there and just how different it is, the environment, and they made it seem kind of cool. But again, it was an influencer, so it's kind of hard to decipher what is for you to be influenced and what is like genuine and authentic. But I mean, if I have the money, I think there's a lot of other places that I would like to visit before probably going to Antarctica. Like Thailand, I really want to go to Thailand. I would love to go to Greece. Um, I would like to go to Brazil. Um, Costa Rica is one of them. And then I've gone to Hawaii, but not all the islands. I think I would want to go to a different island and then try it out. So yeah, a lot to do, just not enough money and not enough time. Um, I've been working so much lately that, yeah. I mean, I still my 40 hours, right? But my schedule's all over the place and just planning and doing different things feels like there's not enough time. So I'm really excited actually to get away and experience this. Oh, I guess another thing that if you all have traveled solo before, let me know any tips, any suggestions, anything like that. Let your girl know because this is gonna be my first time traveling by myself, and I'm trying not to overthink it. I'm trying not to like psych myself out of it because once I like booked my flight, I was a little bit nervous. Um, but I want to be prepared. Like I don't want to go into it and be like, oh, it's all gonna be just cool. Um, I want to be prepared, as prepared as I can be. So yeah, I am excited because I think this will be kind of like ripping the band-aid off. Because I've always wanted to travel, and I've heard this from plenty of people, right? They want to travel, but they don't have the people to travel with. And that's been one of my like things holding me back. Um, so this time I'm like, you know what? I found this really cheap flight, right? And I'm like, "Ah, I just gotta go. Like I just gotta go. Because if I wait on people, I'm never gonna get to do it. And I think I'm just gonna like not hate myself for it, but I think I'm gonna regret it. Because we're only young for so long. Um, so yeah, I'm doing it. So if you have suggestions, also if you have like, one thing that I've asked that people get asked a lot. I'm in this solo travel group, and people always ask like, "Oh, um, I'm thinking of traveling here. Like, what do you guys think? Is it safe to travel as a female? Is it safe to travel just in general?" So if you all have thoughts on that, places maybe that are really safe for traveling, I would love to hear them because I think that would be a good way for me. Obviously I have this trip, but also a good way for me to um get used to solo traveling if I have like places that are really safe. Like one of them I heard was Amsterdam, um, where I could like visit, start maybe with those places that are just really good for solo travelers and then build upon that. So yeah, I am nervous. If you all have questions, I guess, about traveling, maybe I don't know if I mentioned all the places that I've traveled, but I have been to Hawaii, or traveling. So another thing that I'm thinking about is I guess you're not going to know and remember all the places that I've been to, but maybe things like so one of the things that I wanted to share is how I travel on a budget. What I pack or things that I suggest for, how to pack because I always try to do just a carry-on because I don't want to pay extra. I try to do things on a budget for sure because I want to have money for other things. So if you all have any questions, really, just let me know. I could do a video, as I mentioned, about braces, orthodontics. I can do a video on that. I don't know, give me ideas. I want to share things with you. I think that's why I have a channel. Because I'm probably an overshare. Um and I like to like give people a genuine insight. Just like I like to get genuine insight, I like to give that because there's nothing like firsthand experience um and learning from people that are trying to do the same thing or are like you. So yeah, I want to share. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it off here. I said that like 5 minutes ago, but I talk a lot. That's another reason why I have a channel because I talk too much. And I don't have a lot of friends, to chat with on an everyday basis. So I have you guys. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments again suggestions for videos. I do want to mention actually, see, I always do this. But somebody suggested hiking. I was able to upload some hiking videos, but my luck. Since June, I started having issues with my nerves and my leg, so I have not done hikes like I was planning to this year. I actually had to cancel some, which is a real bummer because I enjoy hiking. I like that it's a workout without having to actually work out. But I have to learn to just calm it down when my body says stop. So maybe next year or in the next couple months, I will add some additional hikes. I did upload a video about hiking tips. So if you all have questions about if you're a beginning hiker and you have some questions for me, let me know. Maybe you're looking for suggestions in this area. I can definitely do, or in Washington, not this area, but in Washington, I can definitely do a video on that. There are hikes that I want to get to that I just haven't. So maybe I'll do that, like a hiking trails wish list. And maybe you all can get there before me and share your insights with me. So thanks again for watching. I will see you all in the next video.